Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a story that challenges our very definitions of sacrifice, heroism, and duty. It's the incredible tale of a woman whose final act was deemed a tragedy by many, but to her, it was the ultimate fulfillment of her mission. In the darkest hours of World War II, when the world was engulfed in conflict, countless ordinary people were called upon to do extraordinary things. Among them were the brave women of the Special Operations Executive, or SOE. These were not soldiers in the traditional sense. They were spies, saboteurs, and couriers, operating deep behind enemy lines, where a single mistake meant certain death. One of these remarkable women was Noor Inayat Khan. Born into Indian royalty, a musician, and a writer of children's stories, she was the last person you'd expect to become a secret agent. She was a pacifist, raised with a belief in nonviolence. Yet, when she saw the tyranny sweeping across Europe, she knew she couldn't stand aside. She volunteered for the SOE, believing that fighting for freedom was a sacred duty. Her superiors had doubts. They described her as childlike, too emotional, and not overburdened with brains. They felt her gentle nature made her unsuited for the brutal world of espionage. But what they failed to see was her iron will and unwavering resolve. Sent into occupied Paris as a radio operator under the codename Madeleine, Noor faced unimaginable danger. Her job was to be the critical link between the French resistance and London. It was one of the most perilous roles in the SOE. The average life expectancy for a radio operator in Paris was just 6 weeks. Soon after her arrival, disaster struck. Her entire network was systematically arrested one by the Gestapo. The net was closing in. Her controllers in London, understanding the extreme risk, ordered her to return home immediately. Safety was just a plane ride away. But Noor refused. She knew that without her, all communication between the resistance in Paris and the Allies would be severed. She was the last radio operator left. So, she made a choice. She stayed. For the next 3 months, completely alone, she single-handedly did the work of 6 radio operators. She constantly moved, transmitting messages, evading capture, and becoming the Gestapo's most wanted target in Paris. They knew her only by her code name, Madeleine. Her luck eventually ran out. She was betrayed by a French collaborator and captured. But even then, her fight wasn't over. In prison, she was subjected to brutal interrogations, but she revealed nothing. Not her real name, not any codes, not a single piece of information that could endanger the mission. She attempted to escape twice, and after the second attempt, she was labeled highly dangerous and sent to Dachau concentration camp. There, in the final, desperate days of the war, she was executed. Her last word, shouted in defiance as she faced her captors, was liberté, freedom. To some, her decision to stay in Paris, to defy orders and face almost certain capture, might seem like a suicide mission, a reckless act. But for Noor, it was anything but. It was her duty. A duty to the people she was fighting alongside, a duty to the cause of freedom, and a duty to her own conscience. She chose to sacrifice her own life so that others might have a chance to live theirs in peace. It was an act of profound courage, a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Noor Inayat Khan's story reminds us that heroes come in all forms, and that the greatest sacrifices are often made quietly, far from the battlefield. Thank you for joining me to remember her incredible life. If you found this story as moving as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of forgotten heroes. See you next time.